they are saying, there's no records to support what they are saying.
Exactly. That's why we are happy that them release the transcript, because the transcript put paid to them false narrative.
Tap
So
up the screen,
no more
comrades. Tap
now
up the screen.
can they come with this false information to fool people again. It better them never release. If them never release it, them could have a better target point.
Yeah,
So
because
them stupid.
yes, them, but they are under pressure now.
Hold on, 1 second. All right. Nobody that says bro God cannot come into my box. No bro God cannot come into my box.
Yeah, you come like me.
I am totally
the only God we want to hear about today are the true and living God.
I don't tolerate liberates on my life. So don't come with your name, bro God, and think me I go take you up in my box.
Yeah, we don't want no liberator.
No, we then go find their own platform.
Find your own platform.
Find their own platform.
Sorry guys, go ahead.
Because we are going to celebrate this evening because the poll should put us way ahead of them. So we are anticipating another meltdown from them this evening.
Yes, man. Enough for
Come home and I don't see nobody online active or the map. So they open the platform for those who want to.
No, man, so I think, go, man. You notice when I'm alone it over here, and you know, if I'm over here, the indicator go send me their live. So, you know, everybody will come across and come give him strength. And that's what the thing said.
Yeah, man, yeah, because I don't know if you were on the platform this morning when I was commending you for holding the space yesterday when you opened your platform.
Yeah.
And we did send commendation for you on Trade's platform this morning.
Oh, I heard and I said thank you. I was listening and all.
Okay. Because from time to time we will have to call on you when there is a vacancy.
Yeah, man, as long as I'm available, yeah.
Yeah, I know you will.
Yeah.
No, you will.
And but the whole always say one thing, you know.
Yes, man, yes.
Hello, me all get ratings too, you know. When we got certain players. Me say people are rolling. Me say wait, where people are follow me, I come and go. Me I get ratings and not ratings.
It's not about individually, you know. It's a teamwork collectively. Right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Every single one of us.
Pay attention.
You know what we come with? Facts, figures.
That is the problem.
Truth, and moreover, substance.
And we discuss the real pressing issues for the people.
Just a second. You're hearing the radio?
Not yet.
I'm hearing it, but it's low.
Health Minister of Down.
I will turn it up.
At Bustamante Hospital for Children. Police says the person escaping.
Okay, good.
In Rockfort, East Kingston. Opposition leader poll results, with showing surpassing Prime Minister Andrew Holness in favourability rating among voters. In business news, UNFAO production.
All of us mute our mic. Herman and Sir mute your mic and we just listen to the news and then we take it from there in terms of the dissecting.
The news is brought to you by Flow. Get Flow's 28-day unlimited plan for only $2,900 when you activate through Top of Flow. Download the Top of Flow app and start saving today.
Hey, the Top of Flow app is a great way to get Flow prepaid mobile plans. You know the plans that give you real unlimited social media, YouTube, anywhere calls, and data for TikTok. And for limited time only, get a 28-day plan for only $2,900.
What you can do is stop up the live in the meantime while you're listening to the news.
Easy, convenient way to save on your Flow 28-day prepaid mobile plan with unlimited social and anywhere calls is to download the Top of Flow app or visit topoflow.com.
Download today and start saving.
Now the details of the news on Radio Jamaica 94 FM and online at radiojamaica94fm.com. The National Workers' Union says it's now trying to avert a strike action by workers at the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency. The PICA employees are restive over the reclassification exercise at the agency. The workers became restive after receiving their October salary. According to NWU General Secretary Granville Valentine, under the reclassification exercise conducted by the Finance Ministry, junior and senior workers in the various departments have been lumped together and placed in the same band regardless of qualification and tenure.
We find great difficulty with such situation. How can you have workers who would have worked 15 years, 10 years, experience, fully qualified, more trained, etc., starting at the same level with the workers who just came in the categories? We're talking about the immigration officers, we're talking about the field officers, we're talking about passport workers, we're talking about other workers in commercial, other officers, supervisors, etc. It is unfortunate. The system that is used is obviously flawed, and as a result, what is being given as the authority to use as tool is one that is also flawed.
Mr. Valentine made it clear that the workers are restive and this could lead to major disruptions in the country's immigration system.
We have scheduled meeting with the management team and with JCSA for Monday at 2 p.m. And we will be arranging the necessary meeting with Finance, TIU, and of course the compensation department to ensure that we are all at the same level and that this urgent matter is corrected with immediacy.
NWU General Secretary Granville Valentine. The parliamentary opposition says there is a major crisis at the Bustamante Hospital for Children and is accusing the health minister of seeking to downplay the situation. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton was forced to call a press briefing yesterday following claims that life-saving surgeries were being delayed due to problems with the air conditioning unit in the operating theatre. Dr. Tufton emphasized the need for better maintenance of the equipment at hospitals to alleviate the crisis. But speaking with the media last evening, opposition spokesman on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, accused the health minister of minimizing the extent of the crisis at the Children's Hospital.
And I say it's a performance in crisis management because all that came out of it was a very deliberate attempt to kill the story by trying to say that the little girl is going to get her surgery done. A lot of blame shifting as to why we got here. And that's the end of it. But there are deep-rooted issues at the Bustamante Hospital that need to be addressed because it's not just one person who will be facilitated at the University Hospital who has been affected. There are many children out there who are suffering because of the dilapidated state of the operating theatre. And until we address those issues, we're going to continue to see cases like this popping up from time to time.
Opposition spokesman on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes. And Dr. Dawes is accusing the Ministry of Health of stocking the island's hospitals with cheap equipment, saying this is contributing to the maintenance crisis.
But then when you look specifically at the hospitals, we do not have a proper preventative maintenance program. So do not listen to the sweet talk about equipment being bought and how much money is being spent. For one, we are overpaying for a lot of these equipment. And I'll say, quite frankly, there are a lot of hustlers out there who just buy cheap equipment from China, sell it to the Ministry of Health, and then they're deployed in hospitals. They do not know anything at all about maintaining these equipment. You cannot get the parts for them. And because they're just hustlers, they don't have an organized an arrangement with the manufacturers to service these equipment. So naturally, the equipment are going to go down.
Shadow Minister for Health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, speaking at a press briefing last evening. The police high command has listed an escapee as a primary suspect behind Monday's mass shooting in Pleasant Heights, Rockford, East Kingston. He is 28-year-old Junior Crary, otherwise called Whopper, a construction worker of Carnarvon Street in Kingston. Investigators are urging Crary to surrender to them for questioning. Crary was among 3 prisoners who escaped from the Port Royal Police Station on August 13, 2021. Another suspect in the mass shooting was fatally shot during a police operation on Tuesday. 5 people were killed and 2 others wounded when armed men opened fire on patrons attending a football match. 2 of the 5 victims were said to be area leaders. In a bid to control reprisal attacks, the government today announced that a state of public emergency has been declared in Rockford and other areas within the Kingston East Division. The Office of the Prime Minister says a thorough assessment by the security forces indicates that the elevated levels of violent criminal activity within the designated areas are of such severity and scale that they pose a significant threat to public safety. A man who was listed as St. James's most wanted fugitive was this morning captured during an operation in the community of Garlands. Michael Maxwell, otherwise called Junior, is wanted for murder. Commanding officer for the St. James Police Division, Superintendent Aaron Samuels, says an illegal firearm was taken from Mr. Maxwell during the pre-dawn operation.
He was found with Christian Regard MC pistol with 17 live rounds and in the company of a female. He was featured on the St. James Wanted Wednesdays, and he is wanted for murder. We are really happy with the results that we are reaping, and we will continue to push right through to the end of the year in targeting all our wanted persons, persons of interest, persons who are wreaking havoc within the St. James space. We're asking the citizens of St. James to just tell us what they know, pass on the information. We want to ensure that you are able to have a crime-free or low-crime Christmas.
Commanding officer for the St. James Police Division, Superintendent Aaron Samuels. And Superintendent Samuels says yesterday's murder of a man in Mount Salem was the first committed in the zone of special operations since the start of the year. The deceased has been identified as 52-year-old Donovan Hales, otherwise called Pepper, a mason of Green Pond in the parish. Mr. Hales and his spouse went to Campbell's Lane to carry out repairs on a step when he was approached by 5 men who shot him. 2 men were arrested and 2 illegal firearms seized following swift action by the police. The commanding officer for the St. James Police says the division is still on the path to ending the year with a reduction in murders.
Unfortunately, we could not end the year in Mount Salem zones of special operation. We wanted to end the year without a murder, but unfortunately, that's not the case now. But we're still happy with the reduction that we're seeing, that 30% reduction, and we're aiming to push as hard as we can without distraction to ensure that we bring about a real reduction in murders in St. James.
Commanding officer for the St. James Police Division, Superintendent Aaron Samuels. A man is dead and his girlfriend is seriously wounded after they were shot at a bar in Inverness, Knockpatrick, Manchester yesterday. The deceased has been identified as 30-year-old Roshane Welcher of the community. It is reported that 2 gunmen posing as customers entered a bar operated by Mr. Welcher's girlfriend about 9 p.m. The men then pulled firearms and pointed them at Mr. Welcher, who ran to the rear of the bar. He was chased and shot. The woman was then beaten and shot in the abdomen. A taxi operator who was driving past the bar and stopped after hearing the screams of the woman had to beat a hasty retreat after his vehicle came under a hail of bullets. He eventually returned and transported the injured woman to hospital. The police are investigating whether robbery was the motive, as the gunmen were reportedly heard demanding money. A relative of Mr. Welcher says the attack has made the crime situation in Manchester more real for his family.
Still trying to process the whole thing. Still trying to process the whole situation. Because I never know that it could knock at my door. I know me really feel how other people feel when these things hit them, you know, and it make we just wonder where we going as a country from here. And this is really not Manchester anymore.
Oh boy.
A relative of a murder victim in Manchester. Yesterday's shooting in Knockpatrick brings to 43 the number of people killed in Manchester since the start of the year. The recent spate of murders prompted a tour of some of the affected areas by National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang last week.
Good Manchester.
Opposition leader Mark Golding has welcomed the latest Don Anderson poll results, which show him surpassing Prime Minister Andrew Holness in the favourability rating among voters. According to the poll published yesterday, 36% of respondents said they favour the PNP leader, with Prime Minister Andrew Holness trailing behind at 32.5%. The PNP president had struggled in the previous polls. Rather, the PNP president had struggled to pass Mr. Holness in previous polls. Speaking with Radio Jamaica News today, Mr. Golding said the work of the PNP over the past 2 years is paying off.
Well, I think it's a continuation of a trend that has been going on for over a year now. It was reflected in the results in the local government elections in February, where the PNP won the popular vote quite handsomely, and also won the major councils as well. So I think the work we've been doing, the message that we have been sending to the people, all of these things have helped to improve, my own personal favorability and so on. So, we're encouraged, but we're definitely not complacent. We're not complacent at all. Put some orange heart and some fist in a chat. And diligence on the ground, organizationally, and that's going to deliver the results that we're looking for.
Opposition leader Mark Golding. Matthew Hyde, the university student who burned and tortured his ex-girlfriend on the Mona campus of the
Howard, that's enough now. What me Mike Howard?
We know you didn't talk about the poll.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. The presiding judge fell ill. Hyde, who is represented by Patrick Pittikin, pleaded guilty to the charges last month in the Home Circuit Court. 21-year-old Hyde was charged with assault occasioning grievous bodily harm, use of malicious communication, assault occasioning actual bodily harm, and false imprisonment last February. Hyde held his ex-girlfriend captive for 3 days in his room at the Georgian Hall, where he allegedly tortured her with a hot clothing iron and other implements. She was reportedly discovered sometime after 10 p.m. on February 9 last year. Minister of Agriculture Floyd Green is hopeful that reporting of agricultural theft will improve now that a dedicated subsector of the Jamaica Constabulary Force is being recruited to respond to the incidents. On Tuesday, Mr. Green announced that the government is committed to recruiting 300 agricultural wardens over the next 3 years at a cost of $1.8 billion. Training of the first batch of 100 wardens will begin January next year. In a subsequent interview with Radio Jamaica News, Minister Green said the measure should restore confidence among farmers that the ministry is serious about addressing the problem.
One of the things that we had seen is that there was an underreporting. A number of the farmers never thought it made any sense, and even when they made that initial report, they didn't follow up on it. The only way you can sort of change that system is restoring some trust. The farmers felt that nothing would happen. I think if we put enough things in place, so if we have these officers, these agricultural wardens, if our police officers have the mobility, so part of what we're also treated with, work with our Ministry of Foreign Affairs, is a fleet of vehicles that are being donated by the government of Japan to help us to treat the predator last and those who go into the predator last in the fight. I think once the farmers see the responsiveness, once the farmers see that we have taken steps already to increase the penalties, once they see more boots on the ground, then the farmers will be more willing to participate.
Minister of Agriculture Floyd Green. You're listening to the news segment of Beyond the Headlines. Here is a recap of our top story. Authorities seeking to stave off strike action by employees at the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency. Still to come in business news. UN FAO coordinating specialized training to increase production of hot peppers. The news was brought to you by Flow. Get Flow's 28-day unlimited.
Guess what I got now, Sir Blair? In our job today, it's a good job for Sunday Cleaner.
Right. Unless it's a good job in a Beyond the Headline.
No,
she never said that.
Sunday Cleaner.
Sunday Cleaner, okay.
What's a trend over the years? It makes Sunday paper sell.
Okay, right.
All labor right run go by.
Yeah, because it's a RGR Cleaner poll, yeah, right. Yeah, you're right, Howard. You're right, yeah. So you can pause the news for a moment now.
So you hear the whole promises
Yes.
If those agriculture warden naga have gun, it no make no sense, you know.
Both boots on the
I said people if kill them.
I said people to kill them. Oh,
both boots on the ground.
so that not make no sense. To me, that is a political ploy to create opportunity and employment for some laborites or young laborite for win vote. Because if you ever create a warden and then I have gun, it don't make no sense.
No, you're only risking the young people's lives. Because when man come to thief cow, and you jump out in front of them, and you don't have gun, them no matter. All the money have to pay you because they not allow you to take them.
And not only that either, they have to apply the science in the whole thing. So when they walk in at the market, right, and then take the DNA of the meat them where, then just sample the meat them, whether you are genuine purchaser or not. Them just take sample and run it in the DNA system and check whether or not if the meat was stolen or purchased for. So you have to use science as a backup.
But this government don't believe in to be proactive, you know. They just listen, everything is a reaction. It's a reactive government.
You know, see what
anything, you react to it.
Look at that Bustamante hospital.
Exactly. And it is a shame to have the doctor who say he has been coming here for 20 years now. And to say that he have spoken with them 2 months ago to make them know that he's coming. So if the air condition don't fix, make alternative plans.
Are you listening to news a while ago?
No.
You listen to news a while? What the doctor say?
You don't hear
it
nothing.
was a deliberate attempt to cover up?
Exactly. Exactly.
2 months ago the government come. 2 months ago. Let me tell you something. The government caught up between the rock and the hard places. So Blair, no money in the kitchen. Not even staff party I got keep this year.
No money no there. I remember said the finance minister put out him warning last week that not even overtime should be encouraged now because they don't know where the money will come from to pay overtime. And that is an indictment on the Minister of Finance and in extension the government.
All right. So that is it. You understand? No money no there. So all the sparks where you hear them attack, the sparks now no shiny night. It now no flame. It now go kick off because no money is there. Because the government is so corrupt. Right? All the revised version of the budget right now, the revised supplementary. Where the money will come from? 40 billion additional gone on it. Where it will come from? And the first budget, it was a whole night of 45 billion. So clearly, they are looking at it now to sell JPS. So the only last remaining straw that, right? And if them sell JPS, it would be an indictment on the government for the only have shareholder there as loggerhead. And all it take them the shareholder to do is to get $1 million or 2 million from JPS to keep quiet. And you hear the end of it. You never hear the end of it. You understand? So that's why they're in a frantic mood right now. For them to have the money for buy out the election. So they might try, only hopes them have is to try to corrupt the electoral process with Gladstone Brown. And frustrate people, take them off of the voters list, put them in a neighboring constituency, or send them to the farthest end of the constituency. So that means to say people get frustrated.
Good evening, Michelle. Not to cut you over. How the nuclear plant going to benefit us right now?
Or the what?
Nuclear plant.
Listen, me I said to you now. You don't see that coming on screen right now.
Okay.
For business people have a tendency, if it's not broken, don't fix it. How can you invest in a climate where the dollar just a slide and go, slide and go? That is a sign of risk.
But aside from that, Howard, how can we be thinking about nuclear when we haven't stressed our own resources? We have not stressed our resources that we currently have.
We don't want nuclear. We have a whole heap of technology right now where you can turn the dump into energy. Turn the waste into energy. And we not try that yet. So how we reach a nuclear?
While we can say nuclear energy is clean, the risk of having nuclear leak or a reactor leak is always the danger.
It's too high.
It is too high.
It's too high for Jamaica.
We don't have Jamaica is too small for us to be considering nuclear energy when we can use both hydro and solar.
And listen, I said to you,
we can use the dump.
And not only that neither. The truth is, JPS lose. That's why I find said domestic light bill go up. A lot of the big customer come off of them grid.
Yes.
Exactly.
Who have their own plant, have them own solar system. And government I take off a lot of school off of the JPS grid. Water Commission, which is the largest customer, I quite have number of them pump house and them something there off the grid.
Exactly.
So they are losing. So they have no choice now but to take it out for the ordinary consumer. So that's why you find the least light bill right now at 10 grand.
And there is a memorandum of understanding signed by Atomic Energy out of Canada, along with the government, and I think Leaching is an investor or a likely partner in that. But
you what now with nuclear
discussion has not yet been opened up to the Jamaican people to sensitize them on something like that. Yet still a MOU has been signed.
And listen what I say to you. When you have a nuclear plant, it is like a military base. Our little 2,000 soldiers we have can't even they ever put boats on the ground and grind and join Jamaica because we turn our little 2,000 soldiers in a police, which that they are not trained for.
If you really look at it, it's just a pipe dream for now because
pipe dream for you what got now.
Nowhere near.
Here what got now, Cash. If we have a nuclear plant and we is a psyche and drink to Uncle Sam and then can't catch Uncle Sam. You don't think the terrorists are going to turn upon we, which is a soft target? That is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that neither, our own grown terrorists are going to eat the government, especially with the drug bus and them things, and them want to send a message. They don't care.
But when I think about it, all these terrorists will never care about Jamaica before we start care because
but that never make it know.
Mm-hmm.
For worse again now, if the government both vote a particular line at the UN convention, you automatically join yourself in the line, you know. Not true.
From Tianguan.
Then if you vote with your big brother or your big uncle, you are one of him.
Because
so you go off a soft target.
That's the line they have taken at the United Nations to vote with Uncle Sam. And
right.
You know Uncle Sam vote alongside Israel.
All right.
You understand?
All right.
And you know when it comes to Israel, the Palestinian, that is where
not the politician, the whole Muslim world. Not just one politician, the Muslim world.
Yes. Yes.
So you have to be careful or you automatically build a bomb in your own country.
Right.
For you call this soft target. For when you have a nuclear base, it don't leave with security guard. Uncle Sam don't do that. Them power plant they guarded by the military. Yes, even. Where you do? You rub out the bleach, you bag out the bleaching cream?
We have somebody on the box, Faith and Herman. Let me welcome them to the discussion and welcome them to the platform as well. Good evening, both of you. Any one of you can open your mic and let us have you join the discussion. Faith or what? Herman?
You know, like this.
Faith, open your mic, Faith. Forever, hold your peace.
Faith in God.
All right, thank you. I don't want no sleeping police.
No, and not only that neither. Them have a way for come in their box and slow down the life.
Exactly. And we can't do that. We have enough people to come in our boxes, so we can continue our discussion.
Yeah. Don't entertain the labor right. Make them go on them platform. And if they can't find nobody.
Look like you don't know me no.
Munchie, I come on the graveyard shift and she loyal 7 nights a week from 11 till 7. Munchie must get paid. For boy, no matter how you loyal. Jesus Christ. I when not 2 people up on the live, Munchie that I beat Mark Golden. I don't know what do Mark Golden, what do Munchie. Every day and I pay a crap shot talk, you know.
You must dream see Mark at night time. That me know for sure. Most dreams see Mark at night time.
So when you look at it now, this is another indictment of the government, you know, what them expect for go away, you know, with the Ministry of Health. Right? But just so the poll take up the whole of this next week, that's gonna be the subject era. Right? And with Nigel Clark running away today, it leaves a lot of unfulfilled promise, Sir Blair. And the truth of the matter is that man is a failure.
Exactly.
He wrecked the Jamaican economy.
And to date, we don't know who is going to replace Nigel Clark at this time.
The government is at a crossroad.
But Jamaica officially without a finance minister right now because Nigel has already left.
Yeah, me say to you. Remember, you know, the Minister of Finance is not like an ordinary minister where somebody can come in and the Parliament Secretary or whoever they brief them and keep them going on. This is a serious indictment where we have bilateral loan, domestic and foreign loan. Right? Where you have to familiarize yourself with the international donors and lenders and bankers and everybody. Suppose you pick somebody now and Uncle Sam one other person, they're not going to feel comfortable if you travel to Washington back and forth. We need to know. You can't have a number 2 position with the Minister of Finance next to the Prime Minister. Right? And in gone, all know we don't know. Because of what? Matthew Shamuda shouldn't be the face. And them try to lower Adrian Stokes and keep Duncan. But because of the corruptions, those 2 gentlemen don't want to be a part of it, not even leeching. So him have got either draw back now for sleepy, low energy, favor, and put her in the said worse. And now we not going to pass the IMF test. Because if you can't pass GSAT, how you going to pass IMF test?
Because dependent on who goes into the Ministry of Finance, there is a possibility that you could have a run on the Jamaican dollar.
Then, hold on, man. Right now, at the Bank of Jamaica, the reserve soon drain right down because that is not the purpose of the reserve.
Nope.
Right.
The reserve is emergency funding. In the event of a disaster, we have a couple weeks can keep the country going till we get back on our feet. What should have kept the dollar going is what When him come in a parliament earlier talk about red card and the macroeconomic development and highway this and highway that and low GDP, low unemployment. And all we were saying is a voodoo economy and you must stop fool the people then.
It's the same National Reserve current leader told him to tap into and make life easier for our people.
Right?
Not for our people, and he refused, but they're willing now to use the money to try to.
He's not telling in the line now. He's not telling in the line of cash. Jobs are out there. The hotel industry short staff, KFC and all the fast food are staff short. The Chinese and the wholesaler are short staff. Why?
The pay not attractive.
Why? I wouldn't work neither.
Low salary.
The working conditions terrible.
All one little man now are working at supermarket, he can get bun till he can't get nothing with cheese.
But another alone, working with Chinese slavery, you know.
Past slavery.
But what has the Labour Ministry been doing? I don't see them very active trying to regularize these type of...
I'm back. How you guys able to hear me?
Good evening.
Yeah, give me faith in chance now. For we are calling a little while, you know, where you run gone? Is a man or woman?
A man.
Man, okay. Welcome, brother.
Okay.
Welcome.
You guys, I am a laborite, but I no longer. Yes.
Make him speak. Make him speak.
Listen, no rush him, no rush him. Make we hear from him because we can baptize him.
No. The thing is, you know, it is.
Hold on, just put the pan thing there. As a year way enough here, you know. So, but when I call it now in a radio land,
make him talk.
Make him speak. Make we hear in position.
So, it is unfortunate and it's very sad. I understand your reaction to that statement, and it's very unfortunate and sad because, you know, I am an independent. I no longer align myself with a political party. And I have always been a Labourite. I've never voted for a PNP member before. But after careful consideration and the last 7 years of this country, you have to be a real hypocrite. And you have to literally have no conscience to support this man. And it is mind-blowing.
Call out his name, make we hear how we attack. This man is my yes.
No. Say anti-wellness, man.
I can tell you, I voted party in the past. I am young, but and this is the reality. We have a problem.
Hold on. You have several backs. Jump out back and mark the backs where in and don't touch one different one and come back up.
Yeah, you don't chip in and chip out.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, don't touch a box where they depend. Just touch one of them don't matter.
Well, based on this conversation and based on how his discussion, it seems as if to say he jump overboard. He ready to jump overboard. Yeah.
Man, it's obvious.
He can baptize.
Good afternoon, Lauren. Oh, if they about the same box.
Right.
Still have the connection is still poor on my end.
You sound better now.
The Guanca.
Okay, so I was saying just now, one of the biggest problems in this country is that we have too much diarrhetic people. And unfortunately, I live in a very green constituency, like very green, but in life you should be able to determine right versus wrong. You should be able to call out people on their bullshit, and you should be able to make good decision. Make decision that is wise, not only for yourself, but the future of this country, which is our children. If you look at the last 70 years, and again, it doesn't matter which party you're aligned to. The problem is that we have a dictator that is in Jamaica House. And my thing is, if a pig run against Andrew, I'm a laborite, and I've
Mighty God of Daniel. Here we go. Oh, you know no tune. When them are something you drop, you should not drop a tune, you know.
Yeah. Find one music here. Find one music.
Mighty God
Find
of
music. I have
Daniel.
position.
Which one do you want here?
Mighty God of Daniel.
No, this is my thing. This is my. So I was having a conversation,
Play
right?
any one of the PNP song.
I
Half time break again. Half time break. Make him continue until he break again.
So, guys, this is the thing. There are people out there. I am willing to put my country over my political party. It's about right versus wrong. Nobody is above the rule of law. And in my opinion, if you look at the legislations that this man has passed, they don't make no sense. You have a bunch of old people in Garden House making rules and legislation. Every piece of legislation with the man passed, the Jamaican public has completely opposed it. They're not making any sense. When you look at it, so for example, right? If you look at it,
Yes, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, we are here, man.
All right, you
Yeah,
can
me
pass
see
it now.
the
You
line.
don't play the tune. You don't play the tune. When they hear them a testimony, they drop. You just drop in a line. Yes.
All right,
man, we do that
continue,
now.
Faith.
Continue the labor right. Continue.
no,
No,
one
you
of the
can't call
problem
him
is
labor
that-
right again.
Oh, true. My apologies.
No, like I mentioned, I no longer am. This is my thing. And I wish many Jamaicans had that belief. I no longer align myself with a party. I'm an independent voter now. And the thing is, if we did not have so much dieharded Jamaicans in this country, right? And I use the term Jamaicans because what I'm trying to say is anybody that we send, the problem is we have members of parliament that have been sitting down in Garden House for years, not doing anything. If you should go in Garden House right now and ask people like Mike Henry, how much piece of legislation have you passed in the House of Representatives and passed it through the Senate and send it to the Prime Minister to become into bill? You can't find 10. And you have so many people in Jamaica suffering right now. Cost of living is through the roof. Inflation through the roof. What has this administration done to tackle inflation? Absolutely nothing. Not one piece of legislation.
Take time to come. Only what me know the labor right now attack, Only what you move from the constituency.
It's not something that I hide. I've had this discussion in my community with a number.
Jesus Christ.
Some agreed. Some laborites are upset right now with Andrew Holness. I don't have a problem with the entire administration. I have a problem with the leader who thinks he's a dictator. When you can pass a piece of law that says, I will find you if you, since freedom of speech has become an attack or a death threat to the Prime Minister. That has never happened in the history of this country. Never before. And if I oppose to you or say something that goes against your will or what you believe in, you're going to track down my IP address to find me, but you can't find the man that is killing children, where they murder people. You send it. You send the soldier them. So hold on. You send the soldier them.
Beg you a second, no man. You just go. Look here, you drop nuggets them, you drop the bomb them. But hold on, just 1 second. Give me 1 lick second. People, labor rights and all can no die. 86 people cannot be on this live and me just there 12K live. Like, that no make no sense right now. So here what? Satan got no sense nothing more about Andrew till me get at least 15,000.
Tap up my screen, comrades. For you what now? This is right. This is how TikTok make money. Right? Remember they're not charging for go live. But at least keep the algorithm going. So more people can see the live and you never know. Maybe the live intertwined to a commercial or something. That is how they make money. Remember, no nah give no gift, you know. If you not give gift, it do more bad and it not so bad. But if you not give gift, you tap up. So one or the other. That is how TikTok make money. Either you tap up the screen, more people see the live, or you continue give gift right through. And you know, say she not come over here and do no donation and not beg anything. Those who want to give generously. If you not give, nothing no wrong. But at least tap up the screen, keep the algorithm going. All right.
We can continue now.
Yeah, man. So, as being mentioned, cost of living is way too high. You understand? If you ask the 3 point something million Jamaicans that are in this country right now, what is cost of living to you now than the previous administration a couple of years ago? They will tell you that it's way higher. The reality is the world is going through a recession, which we are all aware of. But what does the governing party do to minimize the cost of living and make a smooth transition for people to survive? They're not doing anything to tackle inflation. Infrastructure and development is a definite must in any country. But at the same time, how can you build new roads, increase our debt, and you neglect the old ones that have been there before even the Prime Minister was born? So for me, it's as if we're seeing development and infrastructure in some areas, and then you neglect the roads that needs to be addressed for years. It don't make no sense. It makes no sense. And all I hear people talking about, oh, in my bill road. Building road and borrowing money and increasing the GDP, our debt, makes no sense. It makes no sense. My kids will have to pay for that. My grandkids will have to pay for that. Where do we stand when it comes to stability? Where do we stand as a country? You know, we can't continue this way. And the truth is, if I believe in accountability, and this is me, if I vote for you and the country get rid of Andrew Manning, if Mark Golding going, and I am confident that he'll do something because I have been listening to him, I like his ideas, I like his policies, and I'm willing to give him a chance. I gave Andrew a chance in 2016. I can proudly say that. But over the last 7 years, he has disappointed me. You understand? 100%. He have a security minister when he stop sleeping in parliament. And God forbid, if Andrews dropped down a morning, just can you imagine Dr. Chang being the prime minister for a week, much less a year?
Jamaica no come back.
Can you imagine? No, can you imagine him being the prime minister for a year? Listen to me. A lot of people, they jump up and they don't really look at the facts. But the truth is, we have some people in a garden house that need to go. Favial Williams don't know anything. She don't know what she's doing. You understand? Nigel Clark is not a bad member of parliament.
So why ask about the next finance minister? I mean by she don't know nothing.
Favial Williams.
Favor. Then I have no choice now. Now she them I look back to.
No. And when I saw it on the news, I laughed because this was the woman that said that she wanted to ban prayer in schools, and you're giving her the role of controlling money. The most important part of the country, the economy. That's where you want to put her. Listen, Andrew was in for greatness, but he made a lot of wrong. He made a lot of bad decisions. He did a lot of good, but unfortunately, the bad outdoes the good that he did. And as a result, after careful consideration, and one of my biggest problem with him as a leader is the handling of the situation with Bolt. Andrew had shares in SSL, and this man did not. Hold on, this man, and this is where I draw the line, because Usain Bolt run for him money, run for Jamaica. That man made the country proud. You understand? He made the country proud. And when I realized what happened, and this prime minister, this administration did not enact a non-bipartisan committee to investigate what happened, I don't need to hear anything else about this country and about this administration. It tells me corruption is building the DNA, and I cannot continue with it now. And a lot of people may not agree. I'm very sorry, but I cannot be a dictator like Andrew.
I want to commend you, Faith, for for your critical thinking and your objective analysis of the situation which affect the Jamaican people at this time.
A lot of them know it, but they won't admit it, you know. A lot of them, they know it. The other day, I was having a conversation with a bunch of laborites, and one of them was saying that Andrew, you know, he was bad with Andrew, that and I agree with him. And if you go, and one of the person there, he would not admit that Andrew is wrong. All the person is 18 years. I'm not talking about the past. I am judging based on what I have experienced. And what I'm trying to say, if I was a diarrhetic comrade and Mark Golden was in power for 7 years, not doing what he's supposed to do, I'm going to get rid of him. I don't care which party you are. Right is right and wrong. We need to have integrity. And that is one of the biggest problem in this country. We are not holding politicians accountable. I don't care if you have a member of parliament and he's not doing job, whether I'm a PNP job, whether I'm a PNP or labor, get rid of him. Because you're paying him to do absolutely nothing, to warm bench. And that's the problem. Look at America. Did you see what America did to Trump? They put somebody that is approached senile stage over a man that has no clue of what he's doing. So the thing is, people have to wake up. People have to wake up. And sad to say, you may have to try to convince some. The reality is, this is going to be a very close election. I believe so, because they're going to come out and they're going to support their own. I believe so. But based on what I'm observing, Mark Golden is going to win. I believe so. He's not going for this election. I don't believe he's going to win by a landslide like Andrew did, because, like I mentioned, I voted for Andrew in 2016. I gave him a chance. In life, I give people a chance to prove themselves. And he has been in there for 2 terms. The cost of living is really high. And I don't blame him for every single thing, but accountability is a must, and I'm going to hold him accountable. If the rest of Labour don't want to do it, that's fine. But I do hold him accountable.
And thanks for your honesty. And one thing I can tell you though, one thing you have wrong though, this is going to be a landslide. Volcano. Because same way like how you can dissect it. A lot of laborites out there, they may not bold enough like you, but they are hurting. And what is hurting? Them can't buy food. Can't buy food, them can't pay them bills. People are not feel self-worth.
And I like the idea that you are okay with the economics, because one of the first statements you made was the inflation rate. Because in 2016, the inflation rate was 2.35. Inflation at this time is 6.5. And you know that whenever inflation raises, the price of goods and service go up. So I want to commend you for your critical analysis of the position and the problem which the country is in now.
That's true. And when you make mention of it, when I ask people this question, what has this administration done to tackle inflation? It's a brain freeze. They haven't passed one piece of legislation. You see the legislation with them passed to increase the charges on road fatalities. I get it. You want people to be cautious, take more precaution when they're driving. Put the heavy charge on careless driving, but you don't need to put so much charge for one simple park at the wrong location, one simple seatbelt ticket. Why are you increasing those things so high and higher than the minimum wage? We have money to pay it. That does not make any sense. It don't make no sense. They don't care about the poor. And for me, that is the main problem I have. They don't care about the poor. And the way you treat the poor is what I'll use to decide if I should send you back to Jamaica House. And I cannot send him. I would rather vote for a pig or a dog than to vote for Andrew. There are, however, good Labourites in the party. They are good members of parliament, because guess what? I can have a different opinion and I can respect your differences. I don't hate Andrew. I respect him. but I don't agree with his policies. And unlike some Labourite, we go come here and carry on and tell us we go suck out this, that's not me. You understand? I respect people's opinion and I respect people's decision. But sometimes you have to put your country over your political party. Sometimes, and you know, hold up integrity and dignity. Have something about yourself. Don't stifle your conscience and do what is right. Because I am sure if this was your party and they're screwing the country, and if you have to vote for the next prime minister just to get rid of, that's what you'll have to do. You understand? So I tell people all the time, don't think about the diarrhea business. Sometimes we have to flip the ticket and do what is right. It's happening in America right now. We see it with Liz Cheney, Dick Cheney. So many Republicans are coming out against Trump because guess what? He's not competent enough to run the country. He's hateful, he's bitter, full of bigotry. You understand? I could go on and on. But guess what? They're lifelong Republicans and they're willing to come out and say, listen, enough is enough. We cannot send this man back to the White House. And I wish we had many more Jamaicans who had the heart and the dignity and the values and the morals to say, I've had enough of this man. You know, we need to put the country over the political party and do what is right. Give the other party a chance. Don't tell me about 18 years ago. That happened years ago. We're living in the present, not the past. I don't want nobody tell me about no past. I'm talking about what I'm experiencing now. When I go to the supermarket, what I'm being charged, that is what I'm talking about. The high price of gas and our inflation, cost of living, we can go on and preach. But the reality is, we must be able to call out people and their bullshit and address what needs to be addressed. And that's my 2 cents. I just wish others out there who are on the platforms who are undecided, you need to make a decision and make it wisely. Because Mark Golding is the better option right now for the country. Yeah, a lot of people won't like my statement, but it's the truth.
This is refreshing.
Thank you. Thank you, Faith. And what you have said a while ago, you have spoken for a lot of persons.
Yes.
Some of who don't have the opportunity to come to platforms like these, and some people who just contemplate silently and waiting on the election. I lift my hat to you, my brother. Thank you.
Well said.
For your critical analysis.
This is refreshing.
Well said, Morgan. Well said. Well said. I tell you, come in, my brother Morgan, give you 2 cents pertaining to, you know, a newly converted,
this,
you know, from outside of the coal. Come out of the coal and come into the light. Oh my God.
Yes, this is refreshing. I listened to every word from this gentleman's mouth.
So me can't play I Saw the Light.
And
I know you shouldn't drop it when you don't talk. And Morgan, we wait, man. So we come ready now. Yeah, you can't just have the live just so.
Your queue, you know, come.
No, music are part of the political process, you know. It's like a campaign, we're campaigning, you know. So music after that.
You feel that your queue. Once you realize you don't talk, you just play.
Yeah.
You have the commanders. Sure. Me have to wait. My God. No, Mike, open.
Okay, Howard.
Yeah, man. Howard.
Okay.
I never know. I would have lived. See, I sit in time.
Just have one more song to play and make no go at
I never know I would live to see a sitting prime minister, you know, encourage and forcefully allow his wife to be
just a second, my friend.
of the house.
You know,
no money pull up. Don't turn off music. Oh, come on, my side. You're like, hey. No, me not run with people. Where you come from?
Go ahead.
Yes, I was just reading the comments. Yeah. So what I was saying is that one of the first thing that led me to, lean more to being an independent and away from this party is when I saw the Prime Minister encourage and forcefully, allowed the vacant seat of the Speaker of the House to be in his household. And for me, that was one of the biggest concern that I had. And it's mind blowing to see the amount of Jamaicans that are comfortable with this type of behavior. This should never happen again in our country. And if I happen to meet Mark Golden, unfortunately, our constitution needs to be reformed, because that in itself is a threat to democracy, because what it means is that, and we've seen it in Parliament over and over again, this is something that a lot of Jamaicans don't pay keen attention to, but if your wife is the Speaker of the House, that in itself is conflict of interest, because what that means is that if there is anything that is tabled to hold you as the Commander-in-Chief accountable, it means it will not reach anywhere, because she being the Speaker of the House, she will kill that bill. She has the power to do so. And that is one of the first things.
This is critical piece of thinking, and I said the same thing too. The Constitution must say, no wife, nor immediate family member must be a part of this.
Absolutely none.
When something night, when it touch pillow.
Right. It's easier. Although the Constitution allow it now, but it's easier for the opposition to be a Speaker of the House than an immediate family member.
Right. Exactly. But you putting your wife there, that does not sit well with me. Because what it means is that if you're convicted of certain offense, it means that your wife will allow you to stay in the house. That is what it means. So, and that's exactly why he did it, because he knew what he was doing and he knew the consequences of his action. But then he needs someone in that seat who has the power to save his ass. And when I saw that, I said to myself, no.
At
this point in time, you have crossed the line. I don't care.
What on the field? Make a whole reason. Last year, September.
You can't get to say something.
What on the matter? Because I put two and two together. Last year, September, she appointed Speaker. August last year, he knew that he was on an investigation for thief taxpayer money. So that's why I'm putting wife there. Oh, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. My God, I'm done here.
Exactly.
You see why them type of discussion are needed?
This man reminds me so much about Trump. Like this, trust me, what is happening in America is exactly what is happening in America right now. He reminds me so much about of Trump. And the reality is, I could give you guys 100 different reasons. I could give of why I cannot continue to support this man. And that in itself is one of the biggest reasons why I said, no, you have crossed the line. You're a threat to democracy. You're a threat to the respect for the rule of law. And nobody is above the law. Nobody.
All of the comrades, follow this man. For we need to see and we need to hear more from him. Follow him. All of the comrades, follow him right now.
Immediately. Of course.
These are constructive criticism.
You cannot continue in that way. But the sad reality is, a lot of people, they don't look at that. They don't even care. A lot of labor, they don't even care about that. Oh, nothing wrong. And it's becoming the norm in the party, because what do you see in Portland? You have a husband and a wife running the 2 seats. So it's the norm. It's becoming a norm in the party. And, we are the ones who send elected officials to serve. And I don't believe it's a friend thing, or it's a family. It's not a family thing. You should be going to garden house to work and get the job done.